I have been remote working for almost 5 years now. It's felt like a lifetime, but I was doing it way before it even became super popular with companies. So I have a lot of tips to share on how to be more productive that I've learned over the years. Starting with using Asana. Asana is this program, I just use the free version. You can color code tasks, you can write tasks in a really organized way, you can move them from day to day, it's awesome. But I use it because I don't have a boss. I mean, I'm my own boss now, but let's say you have a supervisor. You get to be your own boss in a way when you're working remote. You have to motivate yourself and know what you need to do more often because there's less communication. You're not at a desk across from your boss, them telling you what to do. So you have to have your own task list. I love it because I can color code everything. And honestly, it's just great waking up every day knowing exactly what I need to do. I've already told myself what I'm doing that day. Next tip would be to get dressed. I know it sounds stupid. I have friends where they don't need to. They say they just do meetings in their underwear, or at least having underwear down below, or pajama pants, and they're fine. But I have found that on days where I do not get dressed to go to work, I'm so much less productive. I think it really does change things to put an outfit on that you feel comfortable in, you feel confident in, that feels like you're going to get something done. It doesn't even have to be work drag, as I call it. You don't need to put on a suit by any means. You can just wear a fun t-shirt that maybe looks good on Zoom, like this one, or you can just wear something that you feel comfortable in and cool in. You can really dabble into your fashion sense. So make sure you're getting dressed because I found that I'm way more productive when I do so. Next, you're going to want to get an office with a good view. You need to have a window, you need to have light, you need to be seeing the world happen because I can admit there's been so many times over the past 5 years where I've gotten a little stir crazy. So I highly recommend you have a view. Right now I have all windows around me on the other side that you can't see that are overlooking my backyard. It's watching the world go by. If a blizzard or rain or it's fall and the leaves are changing, you have vision of the outside world, of nature. We need it. We crave it. Us humans need that kind of stuff. So make sure you have a good view, get some natural light in there. And if you can't, do this, make sure you have at least some plant lights or some sun lamps in the room to really help stimulate your biological senses. Now, when it comes to the work itself, when you're a remote worker, I think it can be a little bit hard to be motivated sometimes because you could be doing house tasks, you could be talking to your significant other that maybe is in the house with you, also working remotely. So I find that it is best to work in kind of sprints in that you put the headphones in. I like to play, classical music lately or just soft piano music that really helps me kind of tune the world out for a second and really get things done. And I work for an hour and then I take about a 15-minute break and then I work for a little bit more, do another hour, maybe I create content on my next break for a half hour. But doing sprints I think is super helpful because there's so many things you could be doing that you need to really dedicate that specific time to say, hey, I'm gonna get my work done here. And honestly, from working in an office to working remotely, I'm much more productive when I work remote because beforehand, I'm a social person, and when I get around people, especially with close desk, I end up talking a lot, and we all end up talking a lot. So I did find that remote work helped me be more productive, which was great, but I would definitely make sure that you stay focused. It can get a little bit tricky sometimes, especially let's say right now we have some contract work being done. Now contractor comes by and I get distracted and I have to leave the desk area. So know that you're going to need to set up that time for focus. Sometimes your house can get so distracting that you really can't focus, and that's when I think it's time to go to a co-working space. Now, for the first couple of years of remote working, I would work at home, then go to coffee shops on and on to change up my day. I'm somebody who likes change throughout the day, so I would spice it up, go to some coffee shops, which was fun, but then I really needed to hunker down and focus more, and my home life was getting a bit more distracting. I didn't have a dedicated office space because we moved to a new apartment, so I decided to get a co-working space temporarily, and let me tell you, it worked out great. I was able to focus, they had free snacks and drinks, had a great experience. But now I have my own desk space, my own focused room that is shut off from the world, is on a separate level of the house. So if you're not able to focus, I would definitely recommend going to a co-working space because a lot of them too have free open seating plans. They're a little bit on the cheaper side. You don't have to rent an office for, $700 a month or anything. But I do think co-working spaces are for that specific audience of somebody who works for a company that the company needs them to be in a specific office or just wants them to, or it's somebody that doesn't have that proper office space at home and can't make a focused space for themselves to get work done. Now, those are my best remote working tips. If you want more remote working tips, or if you have any questions, be sure to comment down below. Subscribe for more content on remote working I could even touch on, but I already have videos on digital marketing, TikTok growth, and things like that. So you'll get notifications when I launch new videos for those. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing day.